Hello everybody, my name is Nervy, or Sam. I don't really know what I'm gonna go by now. This though, I made a little tracker of all of the video games that I've beaten this year, and as it is the end of the year, I figured, why not make a tier list about them, and go over what I used to rate them, and what I feel like it would be now. Pause for effect. Okay, so starting from the top. First game I beat was Super Mario World. Well, I did really like this game. I had a couple gripes with it. Like, yes, all of the Wonder Flowers had super cool effects. Changing the whole level and how it functions is just a super cool idea. They did reuse a couple of them, I'm pretty sure. Like, a couple of them made you, like, top down. But, you know, overall, very cool ideas. Very cool innovation on just 2D Mario, which I feel like is hard to innovate on. I do regret that it is, like, a shorter game. And it feels like the harder challenge things are just like this cheap thing. Because like it took me so many tries, and I was just like getting angry about it because it's like, why is this so? It's like not hard, but it's just like to do everything perfectly type of thing, like all at once. I rated it a 6 out of 10. I just realized this is in letters, so it's a little different, but most of my ratings I feel like are higher, and I feel like this is probably like high C, low B, so I'll stick it here for now. Alright. Pikmin 4. This is the first Pikmin game I've officially beaten. I played a okay amount of 2 and 1, but I just didn't click with me. Maybe it's just because it was just a lot to know. And I think this was like way before, because I used to play StarCraft 2 back in the day. So like I've had RTS like games. I've played them before. But Pikmin 4, it felt like a good mix of difficulty, and it's stylistically very pretty, especially for like a Switch game. And Ochi is the best character, like the best. I love dogs, love animals. So the fact that you get Ochi throughout the whole game is really fun. I did rate it 9 out of 10, and that's still pretty accurate. Probably just leave it a high A for now. All right, Golden Sun. Golden Sun it was pretty good. The puzzles weren't too like amazing. I mean, they're RPG puzzles. It was fine. The fact though that you can acquire like the whole gin systems was really cool. It did kind of feel like if you're missing out on one, you're not gonna be able to get that back, like no doubt. Which was kind of annoying because I wanted to do everything. Because like, you know, Golden Sun 2, you can transfer over your save file. Which, because I played it on, what did I play Golden Sun on? I think I played it on the Switch Virtual Console, which meant that you can't just transfer the save directly to Golden Sun 2. You had to type in this long password, and if you wanted everything, the password system to transfer your save is like screens and screens and screens of like letters and numbers. Like I'm telling you, like I think it was like somewhere around like 14 pages on like a Game Boy Advance screen. Like whoever had to do that back in the day, I salute you. That is the most masochistic thing, and I hope it was worth it. I still haven't played Golden Sun 2. Probably will at some point next year. Not really sure. Rated it 8 out of 10 though. I might even push it down to more like a 7. So maybe like low B. It's kind of like just like above Mario Wonder for sure, but like not any higher. Then we played Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which I was kind of excited start going into this because like I love Kirby games. Played so many. I'm pretty sure I've played almost all of them at this point, at least the newer ones. And it felt like the Amazing Mirror was just the Great Cave Offensive, supposed to be Great Cave Offensive on crack, but then it was just the Great Cave Offensive okay, which like felt to me. And maybe I just didn't get it. Maybe it didn't click with me, and maybe I just like kept getting too annoyed at where I was going. And then also like the fact that the Game Boy Advance only has BARL, and that's really it. Like, I love how Kirby innovates on its power-ups and gives it more moves and all of that jazz. That's why I feel like Superstar Saga on the Super Nintendo is such a good game, because you get 4 buttons to mess with. Like, I feel like in an ideal world, if we ever get a real fighting Kirby game, that shit would go hard. Because the amount of combos you can do, and like imagine the characters you pick are just the power-ups you play. Like it would be really cool. But anyway, because I just didn't click with me. I put it in D. It was okay. I rated it like a 4. I mean, like that was just. I feel like anything I've rated that is like a 6 or lower is like, don't play it unless you really like it's your thing. But yeah, it's definitely just sitting down here for now. We played Katamari Damacy Reroll. Growing up, played a decent amount of Katamari Damacy. I think I played Royal Revere or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the sequel is called. I know what it is called for the remaster of it. Maybe it's just called Super Katamari Damacy. What is it called? I don't know. We Love Katamari. Okay, yeah. I played that one an okay amount. As a kid, I could not get past the 3rd level because they start introducing in the 2nd one like themed mission objectives, which I think right now is cool. And I at some point look forward to playing Royal Revere, which I believe is the 2nd remaster. But love Katamari Damacy, love the soundtrack. Very funny game. I rated it a 9. I'll probably throw it like low A for now. Just because like substance wise, you're rolling a ball, you're picking up stuff rolling a ball, that's the whole game. Not saying that's bad, because they do it very good, but like, you know, could be more. Which they do. They do more in the sequel, from what I know. Inside is what we played next, which it was a interesting game. I mean, like, it's like one of the. It feels like there's this category of indie games to where you play it for like the message type of thing, or like the art styles or resemblance of some like. They're all kind of like a little similar, but it's like stuff like Braid, stuff like Inside, almost Bastion. That one's a little more different. What else is there? Limbo is another one that I'm thinking of. But it's just like this wave of indie games that first came out after like Super Meat Boy that are all really good. This is like somehow they've came back to that sort of feeling. That's how I felt from it. Because I know Inside came out relatively recently. Sorry, I'm looking it up. It came out. Did it come out then? There's no way. Okay, yeah, it came out in 2016, which is surprisingly quite a while ago. It took me this long to play it because I've always heard good things about it. And the ending of it's very cool. I don't know if I haven't really decided if I want to spoil things in this video. I don't think I need to, because looking at all of these other games, like, there's nothing to spoil necessarily, except for maybe like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's really it. So I'll keep it spoiler free. ending is very cool. What they do with that, it's very interesting. Just because, like, given the whole atmosphere, it felt like it makes sense for it to happen, but it feels like it's just interesting. I don't know. It's like, it was okay. It was not like an amazing game, but it definitely was cool to play. I think as of right now, I did rate it a 7. I feel like maybe it could go up to an 8. So I feel like right here below Golden Sun is just a good place for it. And then we played Pokemon Violet. Bought this game when it came out, played it a decent amount. I think I got to like a point to where I had finished all of the big, the giant Pokemon. I don't remember what they call them. And I did a little bit of all the other stuff, but never fully finished the game. And this, I actually fully finished the game. And I know a lot of people were griping when it came out. It was having a lot of performance issues, which, like, I feel like I play a lot of games on the computer at this point, and performance issues are just like, it doesn't feel like it should be a thing, like, ever. So that does, like, make it but it just feels like another Pokemon game. I know it's different because it's 3D, all the Pokemon are in the area that you can see, but it still just kind of feels like a Pokemon game. And it's like, the story is like, so it doesn't have like that sort of thing. The music's it's just like, it's no Gen 3 or Gen 5 or like Gen 1, it kind of has that. Mainly the remakes, because, you know, the old ones are like, but definitely below Wonder though, and definitely above Amazing Mirror. I played Loop Hero. Interesting thing with this game though is it goes on forever. I don't feel like there is some sort of ending, I think, but the amount of depth that you can go into with this game, and it is very much like it's like somewhat of an idle game, but there's a lot of interaction with it too at the same time. But the amount of depth I felt like it has is insane. And the story behind all of this, like, because like this, you start out and it's just like this blank space, and it's like, oh, okay, video games do video games. And it's like, no, they incorporate that into the story, which is super cool. I always feel like whenever developers do that, it's a cool thing to do. Because, you know, like, how else do you explain things that normally we take for granted? I rated it 8 out of 10 though, and I feel like a good rank for it is like, I even feel like low A tier would be good. Because like 8 out of 10, I feel like maybe even it's like an 8 or a 9, depending on if that's your jam. Then I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and holy crap, I have very high nostalgia glasses for like Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically. So like going into this, I was pretty hopeful. I remember hearing when it came out that people were very disappointed, and I'm like, I'm sure they're just overreacting. Cause, you know, to live up to the peaks of Kingdom Hearts 2, it's insane. Like, I remember playing the Sephiroth fight. That was like peak childhood moment. Like, for some reason I still remember it vividly. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts 3 though, so the like cutscenes and the voice acting and like the amount of cutscenes there are, it's just like, it takes you out so much. And like the gameplay's okay. It's like you get cool things for each area you're going to, which is, I feel like, a cool addition. It does feel like you kind of need to use that all the time or you're just gonna die. Maybe not die, but like they're OP, so it's like, what's the point? But, you know, it does look like a good place to find ingredients though, on a D tier. Right, then we played Moonlighter, which was, I remember it being, it was just like a random indie game on sale on the Switch, and I was like, sure, I'll give it a try. I've seen it a bunch. But like, the gameplay was kind of cool. It was like, excuse me, it was like a shopkeeper slash, or like shop management slash like dungeon, like almost like Link to the Past type of combat, but it was a very nice mix of it, and it felt like the bosses were interesting too. Like the whole game was just interesting. I actually really liked it a lot. You know, it's just it being an indie game didn't feel like it was long enough though, which like is fair. But like there's not even like any DLC for it or anything like that. So you know, it was alright. I liked the game a lot. I did wish it was a little like there's a little more out of it. But yeah. Rated 8 out of 10, and I feel like that is about right. But where to put it on here? I feel like top of B tier is good for now. Okay. Next game I played was Balatro, which like it came out, I bought it, I played it a little bit, and then skip until like November, December, I played a lot more of it. And I gave it a 9 out of 10. I'm just gonna start out with that part. That's a crime. This game is 10 out of 10. It's so good. The amount of like design choices on like how it presents the score, how it presents how you're doing, how it presents everything, really, the music. It's just so, it just all clicks, and it's just so nice. I was trying to get all the achievements in this one too, but unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, somehow my progress on the stakes got erased, so then it was like, I have to redo everything. It did keep everything unlocked, and conveniently, I've already beaten all the challenge mode. But like, even then, I'm still playing it. When I had a lot of progress, because this game is just so good. And like, seeing everyone play it now after it got announced for the Game Awards, and it won like 3 awards, and seeing everyone be like, where did all my free time go? I've played hours on this game. It's like, it feels so good to play it before that. And if you haven't played it, just go play it. Like, it's just so good. Okay, let's do these like 3. I have like a couple weird games on here real quick. Magic Research, Poke Rogue, and where is it? This stupid game. For one, let's just do this, because Boomerang RPG, it's a stupid phone idle RPG game. Don't play it. It's a scam. They want your money. Don't know why I put it on here really, or put it on my little thread. And I'll be honest, I'm even playing one right now called Capybara Go. And the only reason I'm playing it at this point is because Capybara. But it's like the same formula. And it also has like kind of roguelike elements, so I'm like, oh, okay, I like this part. But Poke Rogue, kind of a similar thing. The fact that they made a roguelike Pokemon game in a browser, sick as hell. Love that. I was able to play it at work because of that, which is super cool. And it like keep my save over. And the amount of like the progression is surprisingly like interesting how they work it too. With like the egg system and moves. But you know, it's good. I feel like if you like Pokemon and you like roguelikes, definitely play it. Definitely, it just kind of sits up here though, because like it's not for everyone. I feel like, yeah, right there. And Magic Research to wrap all of this little tiny mobile game junk. I never heard anything about it, but then I stumbled upon it on the Google Play Store, looking up on what is like the top rated games of all time, and this was like one of them, and I'm like, interesting, what is this? And it's like surprisingly deep. Like, yes, it's one of those like you do multiple like resets to become stronger type of things, but there's an ending to it, which feels super cool, because like normally I feel like they don't get an ending. Their ending is you hit such a point to where you've progressed to the point to where you instantly go up, and like you're like slowly getting like it's like you're making number go higher, and like this doesn't feel like that type of game necessarily, which made it feel a lot. It actually is like an interesting idle game, and I actually think this is like way up here because like if you're into that sort of thing, because it's mainly like text too. But if you're into that sort of like incremental, like cookie clicker type of thing, like I definitely would give this a try. It's an interesting game. And I started playing Magic Research 2 because they actually came out with that this last year. And the fact they changed it so much, and I'm like, how do they even like change the formula up to this point is insane. And I haven't beaten because I definitely like got distracted again playing the stupid capybara game. And also, I played a other mobile game called Backpack Hero, I believe, and that's also super interesting because it reminds me of one of my friends who he actually made a little game, kind of. He originally introduced me to a game to where you fight enemies and you manage your inventory through a backpack style, kind of like Resident 4. I think they do it in that, or most Resident Evil games I think they actually do. But it's like that, but PvP, kind of like, it's kind of a more recent game too that they came out with called The Bazaar, I believe. And, you know, you like, or Super Auto Pets actually, that's a more known one. But overall, just good games, all of them. I actually could have just, mobile games, I feel like I actually delved into actually good games for once this year, and it felt cool. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This game, I bought it so long ago, I played it, I fell off of it because you have to hit a point to where you're so invested into the story to where, like, that you just want to finish it to know what happens. Because, like, yes, the combat's cool, and, like, there's a little bit more depth to it once you get to a certain point, but up until, like, even then, I felt like, and I feel like I have this problem often with RPGs, the combat isn't deep enough to, like, want to keep playing. Like, I feel like I get to a point to where I am doing the same thing over and over again because it's the most optimal thing and because it just works. But, like, there is some variation on it, like, in the late game because you get, like, different forms and whatnot. The story, though, very cool. It does make me want to play through Xenoblade Chronicles 1, X, 3. Especially because I heard 3 has characters from 2, and I'm like, that's cool. Glad I played 2 first, actually. But, overall, with all of that in mind, it was, like, an okay experience. Okay, that was weird. I'm just gonna ignore that. I definitely feel like it just sits right up here. Why? Okay. I was wondering what was going on. What the Golf. I've also played this when it came out with a couple roommates. It was really funny. We mainly played like the 2-player co-op. Not co-op mode, it was actually, they had a versus mode. Somehow I couldn't find it again. Don't really understand that. But I just played through all of the levels and it's just a fun time. Solid game. It's like getting 100% on it isn't too hard either. I think I actually did when I think about it. But like some of the challenges were like, it's like hard, like unnecessarily hard, which I feel like some games have that issue too. And I also started playing this year, I think it's What the Car, to where all of the levels are based on you driving something, which is, so far, has been really funny. Haven't finished it though, but the studio just it's just really funny overall, actually, out there. And if you haven't played it, I'd play it, because it's just so good. Animal Well is what I played next, and I'll admit, I was kind of disappointed. So many people are like, this game is so good, and like, yes, the Metroidvania platformer as a general idea is cool, and I feel like it does it very well. It just like there's so much locked behind having it be or having you get everything, and like the world to me isn't the most interesting thing. Like there is some cool things that happen, but it feels like for one you can get lost too easily, and you don't necessarily at any point get to go really fast. Because it feels like you can reach a point in Metroidvanias to where you get to go really fast. Either that, or you just know exactly where you're. Like you've unlocked all these shortcuts to get to from point A to point B really quickly, which is very important though, because you know you need to backtrack to get everything, if you want like a true ending or something like that. But you know the game is good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like it might not be for everyone, but I put it right around there, honestly. I don't like stacking these tiers very much, as a side note, but you know, it is what it is. Then I replayed through Stardew Valley. I originally was playing through it again because 1.4 came out and it was such a big update, and I had finally gotten on the Switch. So I was like, I could play this all the time, because sometimes I can't just be on my computer. But it's Stardew. Like, come on, this game is so good. It takes the formula of Harvest Moon and does it to such a nice, good degree that like there's so much polish on it. And I got to the point to where I finished the community center and I was like, cool, I'll call it there, because this game is endless, but it's so good. The characters are they have all of their own personalities, and it feels like they play into them well. And the farming is just, you know, the fact that you can do farming, mining, there's all of these things you can do. It's just so good. I feel like this also is way up here. Like, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but it's probably a 10 out of 10. And, okay, this one's also a little weird. So, at some point in the year, my friends and I got into PokeMMO, and we were playing specifically through Gen 2, which they use Soul Silver. So I've counted this as me beating Soul Silver. It is another Pokemon game, but god, it is... The Soul Silver Heart Gold remakes were very good. Definitely not, like... It might not even be my top 3. I feel like my top 3 might be like Emerald, Black 2, White 2, and maybe just Black 1. No, I think Fire, Red, Leaf, Green are actually my 3. I think that's my favorite 3. But this is definitely just a solid Pokemon game. Crazy, I beat 2 Pokemon games in 1 year. Shout out to my friend Chris, or FNordMilk. He's on YouTube. If you want to look him up. But, oh man, there's a lot of games here. It's like, it's a good game. I feel like playing it through PokeMMO kind of diminished it. I did get lost in the casino zone, which is funny. Not lost, but you know, stuck, because I couldn't stop. I feel like that's a good spot for it too. Funnily enough, 2 Pokemon games next to each other. And then we played Dave the Diver. There's like so many diving fish-esque games now. Like Dave the Diver, Subnautica, Dredge, I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting. But it's like crazy how it feels like it's its own little thing now, and I feel like this one does it to kind of a comedic effect, and also the art style in it's very cool too. I might add. They have Godzilla in this game, and I lost my mind when I found that out. And it's felt so strange, but it has so many like indie game crossovers that it's just so neat. I heard also, after I beat it, they added a thing to where you can play Balatro in Dave the Diver, and I'm like, that's insane. What? I love it. I love indie games so much. I eventually might actually bump Pikmin 4 up to S. It was very good. I liked it a lot. But for now, those two will sit there. And then I played Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. I did play Ukulele, the original, when it came out, because I did like Banjo-Kazooie a lot. So, you know, the idea of a Banjo-Kazooie collection-thon-s game. I actually played more like Donkey Kong 64, I'm thinking about it. But the idea of that sort of game seemed interesting, but they did like okay job with Ukulele. But then playing through the Impossible Lair, which is more like Donkey Kong Country, it was just good. Like, just a good-ass platformer. Like, honestly, like, better than Super Mario Wonder, not gonna lie. Cause like the ideas they have for all of the levels are kind of cool. Anyway, game's just good. The fact that you can play the final level from the get-go, and the progressing through the game just makes you stronger to go through the final level is like such a cool idea. I honestly would put it like way up here. More like there. These three are like almost interchangeable. I'll make a final decision on that later. Then I played Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I'd always seen this game on like phone stores, and I'm like, that's funny. I love that name. And I actually finally gave it a try, and it feels like one of the like a classic Flash game essentially, with a little more beefed up art style, and then somehow like the ending of it is just like crazy, which I love because it definitely fits the theme of the game. There's a little point though that's like there's a lot of backtracking, which is like okay, because the game is really small, so it's like, you know, might as well explore the whole thing or make you explore the whole thing. But all in all, solid like maybe hour or two thing to play. Definitely not amazing. I actually might put it above Animal Well, which feels funny. Then I played Curse to Golf, which is a roguelike golfing game, which is like such a funny idea. The fact that they made that is so funny. I would have very high praises of this game, but I got so mad on the final few levels because like I was getting like really bad glitches to where I'd essentially lose because of it, and it's like annoying. But all in all, just like a solid roguelike game, surprisingly. It kind of reminds me a lot of Golf Story, but instead of like a story, it's a roguelike. But the power-ups you get, the amount of like things you can get is just so cool. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I'm like, what? Now I'm like, that's crazy. I feel like it's actually pretty decent. Like, I'd throw it way up here with like the 8s. It feels like so far it's like these two are 10s. These are like 9, maybe falling off to 8 on the back. 8, like 7, 6, less than 6. After that though, I finally beat Elden Ring. I played it when it came out and I lost interest in it, which is like the whole reason I've been doing this, is so I could actually beat games, like getting myself to actually finish them. And boy oh boy, Elden Ring is still an amazing game. I was playing it through it to play the DLC, and I made the mistake of like starting New Game Plus. So to do the DLC, I'd have to go all the way back to the area to where you can get to it, which is like, I didn't feel like doing that. So I haven't played through the DLC yet, plus I haven't bought it. But anyway, either way, Elden Ring is an amazing game. I still don't know it's my favorite FromSoft game, because Sekiro is very high up there. I might play through Sekiro again next year to really determine that. but we'll see. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I'm trying to make videos. I don't know. Elden Ring, though, easy 10 out of 10. It is better than Balatro, I'm gonna be real. I do love Balatro with all of my heart, but Elden Ring is Elden Ring. Then I've played through Stray. I finally beat that too. It's like, I feel like a majority of these games is like, I bought it when it came out. Now I finally beat it though. It was okay though. It's just a classic platformer type of adventure game. There's a meow button. Love that. Definitely kind of just sits up here. You know, honestly, Moonlighter can go up too. Yeah, I like this. I like Moonlighter a lot, not gonna lie. Gunfire Reborn. This game I have played for a hot minute, and I've played it at least once every year for the past like 4 years. At first I was just playing it with friends. Then the next year I was speedrunning it. Then the next year I was trying to get all the achievements. Then this year I finished getting all the achievements. And this game is like, I feel like peak roguelikes in my head is like Slay the Spire, Balatro, Gunfire Reborn, and like Hades. But it's only like Balatro and Gunfire that I keep coming back to. Maybe it's because like it feels like the action slash card game-esque thing in my head, or they're more recent for me. But either way, it's just a really good roguelike. The developers don't know the best English, so reading some of the descriptions is so funny because it doesn't make any sense, so you kind of have to figure it out on your own. But it's just a solid game, and being able to play it with up to 4 people is really fun. All of the characters they keep adding too, they've added seasonal content, which you can go back to each season and play that content too. It's not like locked out. It's just like the amount of stuff in this game too at this point is crazy what you can do. I gave it a 9, but honestly, like, I love this game. I'm gonna throw it up there. It's more like a 9.5-ish. I just realized I skipped Hollow Knight. I played through Hollow Knight. I bought it. I played through, I think maybe I got to the second boss where you fight the... I don't remember her name. The person you play in Silksong, if it ever comes out. But once you hit a point, like, it feels like I just wanted to go everywhere. Like, the whole world felt so interesting, and there's like multiple endings too I didn't really realize until afterwards. But like the fact that I could get lost going a certain direction and end up in some random area and end up fighting a boss, I'm like, what the heck? Because like normally in a Metroidvania, you know where everything is at first, type of thing. It feels like, or like you enter an area, you get a map, it tells you where to go and where the next area is. This felt more like you build the whole map yourself. You just explore, and like towards the end of the game when you're trying to get everything, like it'll like have little spots that you can check. But that's like, I feel like the best type of design for a Metroidvania, especially with one with such a good atmosphere as Hollow Knight. Definitely just goes way up here too. I like this. Anyway, back to what I had finished. More recently, I finished slash still playing, because like I beat the game, but like I wanted to play it more. Echoes of Wisdom. It's this very surprising game. I'm just gonna throw it up here immediately. Because playing as Zelda, the idea is like, okay, sure, but then like the execution on how they do it, it's like almost feels more like a puzzle game as opposed to a Zelda game. And like, don't get me wrong, all Zelda games have puzzles. We know that. But like the way you interact with puzzles by being able to make echoes of literally anything, it's just so interesting. Like, I feels like my mind was thinking about everything in a different way than I've never thought of before in a Zelda game. And like maybe the closest I've gotten is like playing through Tears of the Kingdom. Not even Breath of the Wild, really. But, like, Tears of the Kingdom, you can build your own stuff. So it's, like, a somewhat similar thing to it. But either way, the combat's also very interesting, too, given this in mind. Like, yes, you can become Link. Spoilers, I don't know if that counts. But, you get it really early. So it's, like... And, like, that's good against certain enemies. But, like, the fact that you can go to some random area, find a super hard enemy, kill it, get its copy, and then summon the copy to destroy all of the weaker enemies, that's just so funny to do. I love that so much. Because I, like... It's like you're rewarded for breaking the game, almost. Which is, like, so funny. Not breaking the game, but, you know, innovating on where you're going. By, like, getting to areas you're probably not supposed to be at. Either way, though, the amazing game. I feel like it doesn't feel fully like a Zelda game. Like, yes, there's dungeons. Yes, there's puzzles. But it's, like, different enough to where it's, like, it feels very different. So, like, if you don't like Zelda games, I would even play this. I do kind of hope, though, when they make a new one, it's just a Zelda game. I miss an old Zelda game. I want, like, Ocarina of Time 2. Not Ocarina of Time 2, but, you know, something like that. But we'll see. And then, last game. This game took me forever to beat, man. Bravely Default 2. I really love job systems in games. This is RPG, turn-based RPG, classic game. And the way this incorporates jobs is so interesting. Like, it feels like, for one, I feel like I get stuck in the beginning playing this game. Because it's like, you get the freelancer job. If you max that out, you get extra job XP throughout the whole game. I'm going to grind that for, like, 3 hours. Like, it feels like everything I wanted to do in this game, I just, like, had to grind for it. Which is, like, okay, because I wanted to. But, and, like, it's good for an RPG, I feel like, to make you want to grind, because then it's, like, not too much of a slog to get through it. And, like, given the whole, like, braving and defaulting mechanic, it does kind of, like, get a little old after a while, because then even, like, there's some bosses that, like, straight up punish you for defaulting, so it's like, okay, so I'm actually just playing a turn-based RPG at this point. Lame, but it was okay. Like, definitely not Persona 5 RPG levels where I, like, would recommend that game to anyone, but it was enjoyable. I do love getting the ability to build 4 characters in any way I want. And I mean, eventually the peak is, like, you get max job level with everyone and use freelancer, and they have stats out the wazoo. But, like, who's got time for that? You definitely don't need it to beat the game. But I rated it a 7, but it's definitely, like, higher. I definitely liked it more than Xenoblade. Definitely liked it more than Stray. I really like Moonlighter. I never think about it really, but and I think this is good. This is a good order. I like this order. Yeah. It feels strange to have a Mario game way down here with the Pokemon game, but this is how I felt about it. Anyway, these are all the games I've beaten for this year. I don't know if I'm going to do it again next year. I've been thinking about doing, like, anime I've watched or books I've read. You know, just start to get into more things. But we'll see. I'll definitely let everyone know. And thanks for watching, if you still are. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to actually maybe make content. Who knows? Time will tell. New Year's resolutions, you know, they're right there. But again, thank you for watching if you still are. Subscribe if you want. Hopefully I'll upload more stuff. And yeah, have a great New Year.